Omniman is brutalizing some guards and killing them while they do their best to knock him out as part of a protocol before his official execution. After finishing all of them off, General Kregg visits Omniman and checks his progress, declaring that he is finally fit enough for his eventual execution, whatever that may be in the Viltrumite world. Meanwhile, Invincible races through the city to get to his home and save his captive mother and half-brother from a very angry and very homicidal Angstrom. Invincible doesn't remember who Angstrom is, but wants him to lay off his mother and baby brother so they could talk one-on-one. Angstrom is infuriated by the idea that Invincible doesn't even remember what he did to him, so he reminds him exactly. Invincible tries to plead with him to get help and leave his family alone, but Angstrom has other ideas in mind. Invincible then charges at Angstrom as soon as he lets his mother and baby brother go, and Angstrom instead opens up a portal to another dimension and throws Invincible through it, before closing it right behind him. Invincible wakes up to find himself in a universe where the dinosaurs are still intact, speaking and wondering how a human has still survived the extinction. The dinosaurs debate on eating Invincible, whom they are amused about because he is clearly speaking and flying somehow. Invincible tries to dodge them, and Angstrom opens a portal to transport him back to his house. Angstrom taunts Invincible some more by threatening his mother and baby brother once again. Invincible gets really angry at the insolence and charges Angstrom one more time, before Angstrom opens yet another portal and transports Invincible to a universe with a hero that looks awfully similar to Spider-Man, fighting a villain that looks a lot like Doc Ock. Angstrom berates Debbie whilst Invincible fights his way through the different universe, but then he opens up another portal and continues to threaten Invincible. Invincible gives in and apologizes for not remembering Angstrom. He pleads with him that he is not a bad guy, and maybe the accident changed him to what he is right now. Angstrom feels insulted at the notion and teleports Invincible once again before he can fight back. Angstrom has a mental breakdown as he remembers his past life trying to save Invincible from the beatdown back in the first episode, to then also remember all his other interdimensional lives where Invincible was cruel and killed him and all the people he once loved. Angstrom comes to the realization that Invincible will always be a monster and he needs to kill him right now. He opens up another portal to transport Invincible back, but Invincible comes prepared and beats his ass. Invincible threatens Angstrom to stop his stupid games and just take a shot at him while leaving his family alone. But the Angstrom that was so convinced Invincible needs to die now suddenly thinks it is not fun to just kill him and wants to play a game. Can you guess the game? He opens up another portal and throws him through it. Can you guess that I am tired of this shit? Anyway, Invincible gets transported into what looks like a post-apocalyptic version of his world, with his neighborhood all in ruins. Suddenly, he gets attacked by zombies. Meanwhile, Debbie tries to fight back against Angstrom, but he easily overpowers her and shuts her down. Debbie then does the single most badass thing I have seen from her yet. She literally calls out the dumb fuck Angstrom for knowing absolute jack shit about her son in this universe, and maybe he is jealous that Invincible turned out good in this universe while he's out here acting like a crybaby villain. Truth clearly hurts egotistical dumbasses like Angstrom, and he immediately proves her point by going into a meltdown and literally breaking her arm for even suggesting that. Meanwhile, Invincible is doing all that he can to fight through the dimensions he has been to get back to his family. Invincible manages to outsmart Angstrom and go through a portal to his home, only to find his mother battered and beaten while his brother clearly traumatized. Invincible loses his shit and takes Angstrom outside the house to beat the ever-living shit out of him. Angstrom, however, easily counters him and proceeds to beat the shit out of Invincible instead, through all of time and space. He tells him that he was softening him up with all the interdimensional travel so that he could be the one to personally kill him once and for all. Invincible fights back at the mention of his family, and he finally lets himself go while giving Angstrom a reality check about the hardships that he went through. He beats Angstrom to a bloody mess, as Angstrom is weak to even begin to retaliate. Invincible kills Angstrom. After he is done, however, and with blood covering all of his body and the surrounding area, Invincible breaks down thinking about what he has just done. Cecil and his team quickly storm the house, and Cecil makes sure to check on Debbie and ask her what happened, as he calls for the paramedic team to help her. All Debbie could muster up was a question to Cecil about Invincible's whereabouts. Meanwhile, Invincible is stuck in the other dimension after he killed Angstrom. He has a mental breakdown, trying to justify his actions and killing another human. He can't seem to justify anything, as he breaks down laughing at the thought of him dying here in this universe all alone. We then see General Kregg beat up Omniman just for the fun of it, and then he asks for him to be thrown back in his jail cell. On his way to it, however, he meets with Alan the alien and talks with him telepathically and tells him that he is here to break him out. Back to Invincible, he is still stuck in that wretched dimension, but suddenly, an aged-up version of the Guardians open a portal and attempt to rescue him. They tell him that they come from his universe and that he has been missing for years, but now they are here to correct the timeline and bring him back. The older Adam Eve stops him before he goes back, however, to confess her love to him and to urge him to say something to his universe's Eve, either accept her love or reject it so she could move on. Invincible goes back home and immediately checks on his mother and little brother. He then has a private talk with Cecil, where Cecil tries to convince him that he is not his dad and what he did was absolutely necessary. Invincible is not convinced. Meanwhile, Rudy properly apologizes to Monster Girl, and she accepts his apology, alongside scheduling another date. Immortal, on the other hand, is leading a peaceful, secluded life in a cabin far away from civilizations, and he is shocked to see Duplicate waiting for him. She explains she always left a copy hidden just in case, and that she was tired of dying and wanted to quit, but Immortal convinced her to continue. It is the season of apologies, it seems, so she apologizes to him, but he hugs her and assures her that it is all right. Invincible flies through the air reminiscing about his past and how he killed Angstrom. He is screaming, tearing up, and clearly letting his overflow of emotions out. He goes back to his mother and baby brother as they return to their home that was fixed by Cecil and his crew. The day goes by, and he has a late-night talk with his mother, where he outright tells her that he is going to quit college. She tries to get him to reconsider, but he thinks he needs to devote all his time into being a better superhero, so that he can better control himself. Invincible then goes to meet with Adam Eve, and she comforts him as best she can. He thinks about telling her that she could confess her love to him, but ultimately resorts to not saying anything. They sit in silence, as Eve continues to comfort him as a friend for now. Back to the Viltrumite prison, Alan the alien talks Omniman out of giving up and accepting death for all of his misdeeds, so that he can join the fight against the other Viltrumites and help everyone else. Omniman brushes this idea off at first, but then quickly realizes he might actually miss his wife. Although I am still averse to the idea of the multiverse in Invincible, and still feel that it is absolutely unnecessary in the grand scheme of things, I have to give it to them. Angstrom was a really cool villain for this one episode. He actually got me to be annoyed, for better or for worse. But other than that, the finale was a good wrap-up to a pretty good, but not great second season of Invincible. Too many issues to talk about right now, and things I wish to have been done differently, but I can't lie and say I am not at least slightly excited to see what's next. This brings us to the end of today's video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to our channel to get more videos like this one. Your support helps us grow. And tell me, what do you think of this finale? Do you think we will see more multiverse bullshit? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. I read all of them. And if you're watching till now, thank you. I'll see you in another video soon.